Hello, everyone. I did my leadership interview on a man named John Cobb. John Cobb is the CEO of his own company, J.L. Cobb Painting and Construction. He did not get there by being gifted this opportunity. He had to spend many years cutting his teeth in the industry and learning all he could about every facet of the work he was doing. He eventually gained enough courage to strike it out on his own and form his own company. He was able to do this not only with the help of his wife, Deanna, but also with all of the critical knowledge he had gained over the years. As any small business owner will tell you, there is much more that goes into owning your own company than you may know. In order to best utilize this opportunity, he understood that he had to use all of the different methods of leadership that he had learned from his various bosses in the industry. Though some leadership qualities may not have stuck out to him as something that was an absolute necessary trait, he says that he does understand that in order for him to be able to be the best leader he could, he would need to adapt his leadership style to the many different situations he may come in contact with. Although John's company may be small in terms of how many employees work directly for him, he has an interesting situation of having to work with the workers' union to get the employees that he needs for the various jobs that they may have at one time. Due to this situation, he deals with many different types of employees. On one job site, he may have workers that have been in the industry for 10 plus years, or workers that have just begun their employment with a union. With all of the different employees he works with, he states that the best opportunity to get the most done is to adapt his leadership method to the situation at hand. This, I believe, is most closely related to the Hersey and Blanchard's situational leadership approach. This is because in this approach, there are two main factors that come into play when trying to decide on the leadership style that is necessary at the time. The two factors are ability and willingness. This works perfectly with his employees because some may have many years in the industry, so they have all of the ability that they need, but are not willing to put in the work. Some workers may be very new to the job, but have all of the drive that you would want from somebody young. The ability to control the various types of employees he deals with is an art form, as John would say. He does believe that more often than not, he would fall under the category of democratic leader, focusing on open communication with his employees, as well as letting the workers complete the jobs on their own. This is his favorite form of leadership because it provides him the opportunity to go around to as many jobs as possible while knowing that the work is being completed. When situations come up where an employee is slacking off and not doing their job, he needs to become more of an authoritarian leader and crack down on the employees. He does not like this form as much because he feels that it is just more work for him to do. If he has to constantly stay on top of his workers, then he is spending less time working on the business side of the company. When discussing what makes him such a good leader, he attributes it to his personality. He believes that he is a very approachable guy and is able to place himself in the shoes of others, giving him the ability to communicate more effectively. He states that this is something that he learned from many of his previous bosses, which has made him place a very high importance on that. Something else that also helps him in terms of leadership quality is the vast knowledge that he has of the industry. Due to working in the fields of painting and construction for over 25 years, he is held by far in the highest regard on any job site he enters. He believes that with his wealth of knowledge, he is able to gain the respect of all employees. In any leadership situation, a leader is looked at as somebody who is supposed to know all of the ins and outs of the work. This is something that John has a very good grasp on. At the conclusion of my interview with John, I asked him if there was one thing that he could place the most importance on in terms of being a good leader. He responded with this: everyone has plenty of bosses in their lives. The ones you truly remember are the ones who are great leaders. They don't have to bribe you with fancy things or threaten you with unemployment. They instill a fire inside yourself that is a driving force for you to want to do better. You can forget a good boss. You cannot forget a good leader. Thank you.